Now we're married. Can you guys name one, the beginning to the end, before all the transition? Who was number one? Boom, 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 boom. And then after that, where does that ladder stack now? Who's one now?
Mm.
You know,
As
from
far as before being married, or
no,
what do you say?
in the beginning stage of our marriage.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know, before
So-
all the transition that
Oh.
we've been doing. Who was one,
Good.
two? Where was our family at before?
So
And then after, we'll do the after.
So one big thing was for me, and I noticed, and I even like, it's easy as you when you're young and you're married. They'll tell us, always put God first. And sorry, I'm going to go on the
No, it's
spiritual level as well.
exactly. That's
They
what
put
we're trying
God
to do.
first.
That's where we're going.
And nowhere in the first, me and my wife have been married for like 22 plus years, and I look back and I'm like, oh yeah, I talked like I did, but
Yeah.
I wasn't getting ready for church and on time. I was showing up to church halfway through sacrament, but part of me was like, that was a change in this whole new journey. Was I said, okay, this is one thing, and me and my wife both talked. Was like, we never did. We would put ourselves before we put each other, but we also never even put him before ourselves. And we're supposed to do that. And so we just both promised each other, oh, okay, I'm gonna focus on my relationship with God, and you focus on yours, and this has to work better this time. And man, it's been
night and day.
oh man.
Nice.
So
completely.
before we go there.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Before we go to
You
that.
talking about friends in the circle too?
No. Just your family. I don't want to say your old self. There's no such thing as your old self. Before you did all the healing, the transition, where was the
Yes.
Lord,
Oh.
wife, you, kids?
Yeah. So
did
the
that?
Lord was after me and my wife.
Okay, so you first.
I kept thinking. Yeah. So yeah. Sorry. The
Okay.
picture I had in my mind was the Lord was
Yeah.
there side by side,
So you go. You,
never above us, always beside.
Right. So
But-
you.
Yeah. It was me. Oh, definitely me.
Then who
I was a
was
selfish prick, huh? No, I gotta say it so that way,
Yeah,
that's my flavor. I like to just put some cinnamon on there.
that? So it's you,
Me, then my wife,
and your wife.
and then I think
Kids.
Heavenly Father right after that, and then
Okay.
the kids.
Yeah.
Kids was just the kids.
Mm.
But now it's me. It's him,
Okay.
my wife,
Okay.
then me. And man, that order is like for me is a cheat code. It's like that hasn't given me any issue. Anytime I run into something similar to like that I experienced in the past,
Thank you.
it's easily
Yeah.
wiped, and I'm like, oh man,
Yeah.
man, if only I thought like that before. But yeah, sorry, that's my order. Is that what
Thank
you mean?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nice.
How about you, Sam?
I think
Who was one in the? We're married, but we're still thinking single.
yeah, definitely was me.
Okay, you.
Then my friends,
Okay.
probably. Then my family. And this is married, huh?
Right,
yeah.
married.
Yeah.
That
You
sounds-
see how fast she's falling down the list?
No, exactly.
Then
This is real stuff.
It's probably extended.
So you, your friends,
My
your
family,
family,
probably extended friends and family.
right?
My work.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's funny you ask because God wasn't even on my list.
Mm.
So when I
Sure.
I spoke at a general conference, and the room is packed. I don't know how they came up with me, but I spoke at general conference, and it's funny that having a chance to speak in front of that much people, it forces you to prioritize exactly what you're asking. Who's up first? Who's there?
Yeah.
And I did mention that at the time I didn't have a testimony, right? Like I was too busy doing everything else in the world
For everybody else.
until it got to the point where I started understanding. It started naturally, organic. It just started moving into place. And for me, it was a blessing that it helped me to decide what should go first, second, third.
Mhm.
And so now God is first. God is first.
You didn't say where your wife was.
She
Below
was
all of
like
that?
down maybe 7, 8.
yeah.
That's how
And your kids, all in that.
that's how as before I had kids.
Mm.
So it was something that was kind of it was a messed up thing.
No,
It was
yeah,
just messed. Everything was
it's
all
real
over the place.
stuff, yeah.
But the
Mm.
beauty about that is, I almost needed to do that. If not, I would have been living a life that
Still
okay,
be
this is what we
doing
thinking
that,
is
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
You still
I'm-
be doing that life.
You asking me, I'll say you God. But was it really like that?
Yeah.
No.
No.
And so sometimes you have to go through that those trials, those tribulations, those things. And sometimes something needs to happen to you for it to say, "Oh, wake up, wake up. Here we go. Let's move this way."
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, to me, and this is the funny thing, and I know a lot of people relate to this, is it organically started moving in place. And I say that because that's when I know that the Lord had a hand in what we're doing now.
100%.
He wasn't saying, "You gotta put me first now." No, it's like, but again, we talk about before, people who are going through stuff, it's not their time yet.
Mm.
So we're forcing them to put somebody first, somebody third. So is that fair to that person? Let him go through his own trials.
Yeah.
Let him shit on his own wife. Let him beat up his kids for no reason. All I'm saying is sometimes some things have to organically get into place. And when it does, it's so much more beautiful than forced, like, here, God, let me put you up front.
Yeah.
You're gonna fall right back
That's
down.
not, yeah, that's not
But if it
organically.
organically happens, and that means the Lord has a hand in everything. They say it all the time. The Lord has a hand in this. You hear it, just don't believe it, right? Like you
Yeah.
just, nah. I mean, it's cool. But I run my ship. Do you really? It's not until things
Yeah.
move into space, and all of a sudden you're like, dang, this is what I had to go through.
Yeah.
So that's why when I talk about people who are going through stuff deep into it, you cannot fault them. That's just what's going on in their life, and they gotta deal with it. And
So where you at now? What is the steps now?
yeah, so right
So
now
who-
it's
1, 2.
right now it's God, my wife, and kids. I'll put them on the same line.
Mm.
Then my family, which is my mom and my siblings, opens up to everybody else after that.
Where do you fit in that category? Where do you fit in that? Did you say you?
I think, yeah, I said God, my wife, then me.
Okay.
It's like the airplane for me. You know, when the mask come down, put it on
Yeah.
yourself and then you put it on your kids.
So I think for me, it's
Yeah,
I
you
think
say
I put
your wife.
myself on the same level as my wife and kids,
Mm.
because if you're not taking care of yourself too mentally,
Mhm.
then I mean you can honor somebody else as much as you like, but
Yeah.
you're gonna be going this way while they're going this way.
Yeah.
So you start lifting somebody else. You know, it's like when you go in the water, you lift somebody else, you're going to sink. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
So actually, you both here. So he's actually like God, you, your wife, family. I mean, wife and family
Yeah.
fall in that same.
on the same line,
Yeah.
just so
Yeah, I agree.
Like you say, you gotta take care of you, so you can take care of your family.
Well, you
All
see,
in the same line, huh?
and you see, like in my situation, it was a seesaw. Some people wasn't even on the list,
Yeah.
so now it organically moved to where it needs to be,
Yeah.
and now it's like just feels better. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It
Wow.
feels
Everything's
yeah.
more
lighter.
natural,
It feels
yes.
like now we both can move in the right direction.
And see us
but-
all together.
But again, if it didn't happen that way,
Yeah.
it might be artificial.
Yeah.
If that's even the
No,
word.
that's.
And if that's the case,
Mhm.
easy to spiral out of that, right?
Yeah.
Would you imagine?
you're not
and
as
so-
vested in.
So
in
everything we're talking about, there's somebody out there that's somewhere in here that has to fight their own battles. And I say fight through your own
Yeah.
battles until
It.
you
Hopefully, we've given them some.
until you really
Some
need help.
guidance,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
If you really need help, reach out streettherapist.com.
No, thank you for sharing that, because I was in that same level too.
Yeah.
To name mine, it was me, my job,
Yeah.
my friends, then the entertainment,
Mm.
Yeah.
the mixing goes over with my friends,
Yeah.
and my wife and kids was like, yeah. Well,
Not
that-
even in the
last, not
picture
even
right
in
now.
the
Yep.
picture. That is our selfish mind. We
Yeah.
click into that. in that trying to live a life that we thought we did.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy important how everything just kind of works as you fall into a place where,
Yeah.
oh, this feels junk over here. I hurt too many people already.
Yeah.
I hurt it myself already. Too many people, the one that love us.
Yeah.
So we had to make that switch. So now it's same like you guys. Put God first. Me and my family. Work. Then everybody else. If you're in there, you're in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're in there, you're in there, and just the priorities. So if you're going through something,
Mhm.
try to do this by yourself or with your family, with your wife. Where do you fit in that ladder? And if you have to cut some people off for now, including family members, to get to balance the ladder or the seesaw, like Sengo say, then go do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's okay to realign yourself again with Heavenly Father, so you can keep going forward strong together as a family. No, that's awesome.
Big time.
One more tidbit on this. I want to see if it's. I'm pretty sure it's
Absolutely.
across the board, but I want to hear if you guys agree. Putting the order correctly, man. My house has been, man. It runs like a well-oiled machine, man.
man.
It's like
Effortless.
effortless,
Yeah.
exactly. And I'm like, so that's 3 of us telling all of you guys at home that just get that order right, but do it on your own time,
On your own time. It
way,
cannot
the
be
way you do
artificial.
it. But make sure you're moving towards it, not just
Absolutely.
don't be stale,
Yeah,
and just
bro.
wait for it, or like
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's
stagnant,
cool.
I guess they
Yeah.
call it.
Yeah.
But man, that's one thing I noticed is, man, my house is so peaceful, like
Yeah.
even to the point where some of my older kids, they grew up while we were the young parents,
Mm.
and they're just like, they're expecting to, kind of like hold back on everything because
Right,
that's how we were when we were raising them. But they're just like, oh, where you guys
Great
going?
point.
You guys are going? No, we're gonna go take a walk, mom and dad. So, okay, they're like, at a point where they're like, wait, what?
They're not sure how to
Yeah,
work out.
but the young one, she's experiencing all of this, and so part of me is like, man, I feel bad that the older ones they have to go through that. But at the same time, I'm not going to change who we were back then. All I'm going to do is change who I'm going forward, in this
That
whole
is
process.
perfect. You hit
Big
the
time.
spot. Big time. Man,